Hi there. Today I'm doing a vlog about the number 47, and this is a preliminary work. I am intending to do a blog about this that will be more complete and have information that I'm not going to reveal here, but I'm going to cherry pick some of the more interesting parts about this number. I noticed some people on YouTube were bringing up this number, and I googled the number, and I also was looking into YouTube videos about it. And what's interesting is I'm not the only one who's been noticing 47 excessively for a long time. My brother and I actually call it Precious 47 at this point because it was a real omen for us for many years. And so I wanted to dedicate this to my brother because he's given me a lot of insights about it. Now, there's other people who actually have made a really big deal about this, and if you just look at the Wikipedia page even, there's a huge movement about the number 47 that came out of Pomona College in California. And the 47 Society is on the web, and they have like forums and things, and people can discuss their experiences with the number 47. And on the wiki page it says they explore the belief that 47 occurs in nature more frequently than other numbers, and share their personal sightings in consideration of 47 being the quintessential random number. I would have to say there may be some truth to that. It's kind of an inside joke at Pomona College, and in fact, one of the writers of the Star Trek Next Generation series put a lot of references into Star Trek, so it became sort of a Star Trek meme. And, my brother used to watch Star Trek episodes, and he noticed it in those. I don't think he realized at the time that they were deliberate. With 47 is that in 1947 Roswell happened is a good one, and then the atomic number of silver is 47, and that actually makes sense in relation to other aspects of the symbolism that I'll get into. The I Ching hexagram number 47 means confined or oppressed, and actually the number 47 generally seems to have the kind of bad luck vibe to it, and I think this is because of what the number really indicates, and so I'll go into why I think this number has a lot of bad luck connotations around it. Was just noticing it on my own. I was noticing that it was definitely occurring in conjunction with negative instances. And so it didn't surprise me when I found out that hexagram 47 means confined or oppressed. Sometimes it means real oppression from outside forces. Otherwise it represents self-imposed oppression and oppression through perceptions. Another one of my favorite references of 47, and I actually noticed this when I watched the original Omen movie, was that there were 47 crosses nailed to the door of the priest's accommodation, and to keep the satanic forces out. And this is very important, that the 47 crosses were nailed to the door. Okay, so 47, when I first was actually discussing it with a few friends on MySpace, someone approached me because I said something to the effect that I thought that 47 was associated with the word demons. And he wrote me because he had also had a lot of synchronicity with the number 47, and when him and his brother were young, they associated the number 47 with the devil. And later on, he found out that 47 equaled the Hebrew word avil, which is spelled A-V-I-L, which is interestingly close to the word D-E-V-I-L. And that word apparently means like wicked or unjust one or foolish. And so he told me, I really think that there's something to that as far as like why 47 is associated with demons. And there's more biblical references as well in some of the links that I'll give you. But generally, 47, the way that I look at it is, first of all, you can add 4 plus 7, which equals 11. 11 is the number of daath and the clippeth, and the number of the abyss, or the gateway or portal, which in itself is kind of a doorway. And daath has been described as a doorway many times. Daath is also associated with the silver star. 474 is a number that equals daath, and is basically means you shall know, because the sphere of daath on the tree of life equals knowledge. So basically, this whole portal or doorway to other universes and just the idea of the abyss in general comes up with the number 47. And I was in breaking it down, I realized that really the number 4 symbolizes the door and the lock, and 7 is the key. I could also break it down as far as the number 40 plus the number 7. One of the quotes states that this number represents the evolution 7 continuing in the eternal mechanism of the world 40 by a personal effort and a fight. I find that to be a really interesting phrase to describe the number 47. This link also references 47 as being considered the number of the law. Okay, and another really interesting reference to the number 47 occurs in Euclid's 47th proposition or problem, otherwise known as the Pythagorean theorem. And I will provide some links below on this. I'm not going to explain it extensively, but basically the Pythagorean theorem, or the 47th problem of Euclid, is explained in the link below. But there's an interesting quote. It says, "How is the 47th proposition the foundation of all masonry, and what was the significance of the problem which led to such a demonstration by the ancient philosopher? The knowledge contained in this proposition is at the bottom of all systems of measurement, and every mechanic at the present day makes use of it consciously or unconsciously, whether it be in the land surveyor blocking out a township, or the gardener measuring out his tennis court, or the carpenter calculating the pitch of a roof," etc., etc. And so really, when you step back, you want to think space-time coordinates. Here's a really another little interesting quote here is, "The type of triangle most often used to demonstrate the 47th problem in masonry is not the 3-4-5 ratio, but the 1-1 square root of 2 ratio form. And the square and the cube, which are 1 on each side, are of great symbolic meaning to Masons. Therefore, the bisection of the square into a pair of 1-1 square root of 2 triangles has important Masonic connotations. It is in this form that the Pythagorean theorem is most often visually encountered in Masonry, specifically in the checkered floor and lodge tracing boards and all over the place." So this is interesting because I'm going to go further with the symbolism of 47, and it'll kind of make sense why the whole space-time coordinates is a very interesting point. Let's see, there's another link that has some interesting quotes here. "The 47th problem of Euclid, or the Pythagorean theorem, teaches us to not only be general lovers of the arts and sciences, but to stand in awe of the God-given knowledge which can take a piece of string and 4 sticks and be able to find your way home from anywhere on earth, on the seas, or in the heavens." So all of this got really interesting for me when I looked at David Lynch's Inland Empire, a movie that I actually saw in the theater when it came out. And I will have to just say that it was the most intense experience I've ever had seeing a movie. David Lynch, of course, often includes multiple timelines in his movies as part of the symbology that's going on, and he often includes interdimensional entities, and I've discussed some of his work in a previous vlog. Inland Empire implies the inner planes of reality, and David Lynch definitely goes into daath territory. Basically, the synopsis of the movie, and I'm not going to give huge spoilers, but if you want to see the movie and you before you listen to me talk about it, I don't blame you. The movie is very long and it's very intense and it's a serious mind fuck, so good luck. There's a lot that went over my head the first time I saw it, but I really understand the symbolism of it now and how much it relates to everything that I've uncovered about the number 47 on my own. So in the movie, Laura Dern's character, Nikki, is basically given a role in a script that's called On High in Blue Tomorrows. And the word tomorrow comes up a lot as far as the issue of time. And remember, I was talking about space-time coordinates. There's a couple of quotes in which, like the Polish woman at the beginning says, sometimes you forget whether it's today, yesterday, or tomorrow. And Laura Dern's character Nikki at one point is saying, it's a story that happened yesterday, but I know it's tomorrow. And so there's all kinds of references to time not making any kind of linear sense. The original name of the Blue Tomorrow script was actually called 47. It was a Polish gypsy folktale. And at one point in the movie, 47 is said to mean bad luck. And so basically the character becomes, the character in the movie becomes trapped in the character that she's playing, and it's incredibly complicated. I don't want to try to deconstruct the whole thing now, but I will provide links that do really deconstruct the movie very well. And at one point in the movie, we find out that there is this room 47, and behind the door of the room 47, because the 47 represents the portal, and so basically inside of room 47 are these rabbits who are in like a sitcom. And when this movie first came out, nobody knew what the hell the symbolism meant, and really what the rabbit symbolizes is the Puca. The Puca is the white rabbit in Alice in Wonderland, and of course we know that he's all about time because he's carrying his watch. And so the rabbits even make some references to the fact that they're outside of time. At one point, Susie Rabbit says, "What time is it?" And you hear a laugh track. And so these rabbits really represent interdimensional entities, demons, the Puca energy, that which is taking you down the rabbit hole. It has positive and negative connotations to it. They really represent what's on the other side of the looking glass. And so it's the kind of movie where you never know what's going on in space-time. There's a hell of a lot of confusion in space-time. And I think that the number 47 really is used as a huge amount of manipulation, and basically in the control grid and the control matrix, this is a major key code. And so really, in my occult experience working with this number, I will have to say it has everything to do with what I was discussing in the vlog that I did on my other channel, where I described my experience with the light switch. And so David Lynch obviously is well aware of these things, and I'm impressed with the fact that he did a movie that so dramatically encompasses the symbolism of this number. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, and if anything that you would like to add. I know there's a million references that about this number, and perhaps I'll get more into this later on in my blog and tell you a little bit more about what I know about it. Perhaps those of you who studied a lot about some of the subject matter that I'm bringing up here could also give me insights that will lead me into new territory on this. So thanks a lot, and now I'm just going to post a couple little outtakes of little videos I made about a couple synchronicities I had while I was making this little Precious 47 video. Alright, today's February 22nd, and today I'm doing my 47 project. And look at how many views my channel has at this moment when I've decided to do this today. 11,747.
Everywhere. They see it everywhere. Pomona Magazine, the official magazine of Pomona College, wrote, quote, "You might call Pomona's link to the deep structure of the universe. For instance, were you aware that the organ case in Lyman Hall has exactly 47 pipes? Or that Pomona's traditional motto, Pomona College, our tribute to Christian civilization, has 47 characters? Did you know that at the time of Pomona's first graduating class in 1894, there were 47 students enrolled? And if you want to go deeper into the mystery, did you notice that the last two digits in that year equal 47 times 2? The article goes on like that for another